So another cracking day's racing at York on Thursday, and I've got three bets for you. Starting out in the opener, the 145, the Sky Bet Lowther, always an interesting race, but I think it does revolve around Sacred, the favourite this year. She has the best form in the contest. She brings the best form into the race, courtesy of that second in the Queen Mary. The race has worked out well. She tanked her way through that contest and, to be honest, looked the winner going into the final furlong. Didn't quite see it out as well as the winner did that day, but she did her profile and her herself no disgrace, and it was a big step forward from her debut, which has also produced winners. So she could still progress and be even better, I think, just based on her excellent pedigree. I like the fact she's had a break as well. I think that's a positive. William Haggis, after giving her a pretty intensive start to the year, has put her away for best part of a couple of months, and that may well benefit her as well. Just thought she'd be really hard to beat. Sacred in the Lowther, the first race on the card on Thursday. Second race at 2:15. Devious Company sets the standard, obviously, but I didn't think this drop back in trip would be absolutely ideal for him. Though if they get plenty of rain, putting the emphasis on stamina, then that could help. But the one that caught my eye was Uncle Jumbo, who I thought showed a really good attitude, looked very professional and gutsy when winning on debut at Doncaster. He's been put away for this race since, which I think is a positive, if anything. And he is one of about five in the race, I think, that you could, 5 or 6 that you could give a real chance to of winning. It's a big field, but really not many of them will be able to win this race. They're sort of making up the numbers, but he certainly looked something out of the ordinary when he made that winning debut. He's related to Major Jumbo, close relative of that one. Obviously a horse that's won at York, won on soft ground, and is just a really likeable front-running sprinter. And I suspect Uncle Jumbo might make up into a similar type himself if that debu's anything to go by. So Uncle Jumbo, from a high draw, which doesn't appear to be a bad thing based on the action on Wednesday and previous months of York racing as well on that straight course. I don't think a high draw is a negative by any means. So I'm hoping that stall 19 can be a good stall for him, and he can double up here in this very valuable race. The 3:45, the Goldone Stakes. It's a race where I think you've got to be looking at the 3-year-old fillies. I don't think an older horse has won this race since 2010, so that's quite a significant stat. Of course, the likes of Sea of Faith, a 4-year-old, could be successful on Thursday, but it does just speak for the kind of profile that you need, the kind of filly that you need in this race. You need something that's going the right way, progressing and going through the ranks, and those 3-year-olds are usually the fillies that are doing that. Now, I did think about Albaflora, who will be suited by this step up in trip, but the one I came down on in the end was Goldone for Roger Varian, a really scopy looking filly who I think is held in a fair bit of regard at home, reading between the lines. They ran her in the Oaks after she broke her maiden earlier in the season, and that's an un-Varian-like thing to do, really, to rush a filly into a classic that they didn't think had a chance. And in the end, she pulled hard in the early stages and she was never out of last position, and it all just came a bit too soon for her. But it was good to see her drop her head when she ran at York over 10 furlongs last time out. And even then, I still think she was learning, showing signs of greenness in the closing stages. She sort of hung left under pressure. That was the first proper battle that she's had in her life, though. When she won her start at the beginning of the year, she was essentially just quickening away from fillies who she was much better than. This time she had a proper battle on her hands, and she just showed inexperience behind Franconia. But I think she'll be even better for that experience. I think that'll bring her forward again. She looks like she'll stay this trip, and I just thought Goldone had a good chance, and one of the 3-year-olds in that Goldone Stakes, which could well be key.